These are today's topics. Part 1. The Creative and Innovative Perspective of Disabilities from TED. Part 2. Universal Design, the Source of Creativity and Innovation. Part 3. Visual Limitation, the Seeds of Creativity and Innovation in My Life. I'd like to mention about change in international awareness for the perspective of disabilities before I start my main topics. As you see, there are 3 steps of change in international awareness for the perspective of disabilities. First, individual perspective. It means that disability is an individual responsibility. Indeed, you are the one who has to overcome your disability. Your family has to take care of your needs as a person with disability. Second, medical perspective. According to this perspective, disability is the subject of treatment. So, your disability has to be removed or cured as much as it can be. For achieving this goal, you should follow the advice of doctors or experts such as physical therapists, occupational therapists, social workers, etc. The last is a social perspective. By social perspective, it is considered that disability is affected by the social environment. For example, it is not because of a person's disability, but because of the social environment that people using wheelchairs cannot go to Angkor Wat. Therefore, we have to make an accessible touring environment in Angkor Wat for people using wheelchairs. I think the current stage of Korean perspective of disability is moving from medical perspective towards social perspective. How about Cambodia? Part 1. The Creative and Innovative Perspective of Disabilities from TED Talks. Perhaps some of you guys are familiar to TED because many college students are using TED Talks to improve English skills. Me too. By the way, TED stands for Technology, Entertainment, Design. So, I looked for innovative and creative perspectives of disabilities in TED Talks to share with you guys. Before TED Talks, let's talk about the keywords related to disabilities first. What keywords do you think of when you hear the word disabilities or people with disabilities? As you all know, there are 2 sides to everything, like flip side of coins. Of course, there are also 2 sides to keywords of disabilities too. The positive and the negative. Let's go with the positive keywords first. Good-hearted, strong will, overcoming adversity, pure-hearted, etc. For example, there is an idiom-like sentence about people with intellectual disabilities. Oh, although they are intellectually disabled, they are more pure-hearted than us. Do you really agree to this sentence? No, I do not. I don't think there is any significant correlation between intellectual disability and pure heart. How about the negative keywords of disabilities? Being sick, victim mentality, preferential favor, reverse discrimination, etc. Some Korean expressions that describe people with disabilities in news and on the air make me very uncomfortable. Like this: he has been sick since birth due to visual disability. Do I look sick today because of my visual disability? As you see, I am super fine today. I am not sick, I do not go to doctor's office regularly because there's no cure for my disability so far. So, I think my disability is not a disease, but a characteristic of myself. Convenient, beneficial, innovative, efficient, creative. These are my keywords for disabilities today. Yes, you might feel these keywords should be appeared in business or human resource management textbooks. Now, let's figure out how these keywords are related to disabilities through a couple examples from TED. Artist Neil Harbison was born completely colorblind, but these days, a device attached to his head turns colors into audible frequencies. Instead of seeing a world in grayscale, now he can hear a symphony of colors. Literally, he listens to everything from Sally's or Nicole Kidman's face to Picasso's artworks because there is nearly nothing without colors in the world. As you see, his color of dress code is a little bit weird. Even his pants in this TED Talk was yellow, although you cannot see in this picture. He said he expressed joy to lecture in TED to wear C major chord suits. Do, mi, so. He can even listen to colors beyond our limits, such as UV rays from sun and infrared rays from TV remote controllers. What a man! I think it's very beneficial for protecting his skin. This tune is For Elise by Beethoven. Even if you don't know the title or composer, you might know this tune because this tune is everywhere in the world, from doorbells, school bells, to car alarmings, etc. He converted the sound of colors he hears to the actual colors. At this point, you should know that he wanted to be a painter, but he was rejected by art schools because of his color blindness. But what a beautiful and innovative artwork it is, isn't it? His inconvenience, color blindness, became creative and innovative art. Amy Mullins is a record breaker at the Paralympic Games in 1996 and has built her career as a model and actor with her prosthetic legs. She said, "A prosthetic limb doesn't represent the need to replace loss anymore. It can stand as a symbol that the wearer has the power to create whatever it is that they want to create in that space. So, people that society once considered to be disabled can now become the architects of their own identities and indeed continue to change those identities by designing their bodies from a place of empowerment." I especially envy her as a short person because she can change her height as she wants with her beautifully designed 12 pairs of legs. What a beautiful, innovative, and creative legs they are. Especially, I like her confident attitude to show her artificial legs as fashionable elements of her body. I heard there are many people wearing prosthetic limbs in your upper generations due to Cambodian civil war. I think it is very positive and empowering perspective of the prosthetics we should learn from her attitude. Mindy Shayer is fashion designer and mom of a son with muscular degenerative disorder. Since he could not button shirts and pants due to his disability, he usually wears sweatpants to school, to parties, on vacations. But one day he told her that, "Mom, wearing sweatpants every day makes me feel like I'm dressing disabled." So, as a fashion designer, she makeovered the hell out of jeans, applied the rubber band through the buttonhole, removed the zipper so that he can pull it up and down on his own. Also, cut up the side seam of the bottom of his pants to accommodate for his leg brace, applied velcros, etc. She made adaptive clothing for her son. Adaptive clothing is defined as clothing designed for people with disabilities, the elderly, and anyone who struggles with dressing themselves. From this experience, she expanded her research for adaptive clothing and launched the first ready-made adaptive clothing line in Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger is very common and famous casual brand in US, like Nike and Adidas. Like shirts with magnetic buttons, jeans with Velcro. After all, the love of mothers is great, isn't it?